Thanks for joining me again, Brahmas fans. This is Troy Depew, the official, unofficial, never superficial Texas Brahmas Examiner, the place for everything Brahmas related. Do remember to subscribe to my articles at the top of my Examiner page, and that website again is www.examiner.com/Texas-Brahmas-N-Fort-Worth. Or you can just follow me on Twitter at Brahmas Examiner. I'm here with the first person signed with the Brahmas for the 2011-2012 season, a shot-blocking defensive giant, Mr. Jim Burichin. Thank you for joining me today. Now, I got your stats here, and in 45 games last season, you with 2 goals and 2 assists. But you keep scrolling over to the right, and you can't help but notice something else. In those 45 games, you had a plus-minus rating of plus 14. For anyone that doesn't know what that stat means, basically every time you're on the ice, when the other team scores, you get a minus. Every time you're on the ice, when your team scores, you get a plus. So you were on the ice 14 times as many times when the Brahmas scored as you were when the other team scored. That's the absolute grading stick for D-men, because if you're on the ice when the other team scores, that means that maybe you weren't playing as strong as you could have. A plus 14 rating is absolutely amazing. How did you achieve such a good rating?
Well, the plus-minus rating is basically a stat where guys like me who don't get a lot of points, they can kind of make their living doing that. Basically, every shift I'm out there, I'm just trying to keep the puck out of our net and get it to the forwards, and hopefully they score. There's a lot of luck involved in plus-minus, but there's also a time when you can block shots and keep the puck moving and get it out of your end and get it out to the forwards. You can hopefully score goals and get those pluses for you.
Now, you mentioned the block shots, and I have another stat here that wasn't actually on the stat sheet. But in your last year with Niagara University, you had 38 block shots in 35 games. Yeah,
that was it was a painful season. But when I was at Niagara, I kind of defined my role as a D-man and kind of learned that the way I had to play was to block shots and stay defensively sound through everything. But it's a little crazy to jump in front of a 90-mile-an-hour puck, but that's just the way I play my game, and I like to do it. So.
Now, would you consider yourself like an old-school style defenseman? I say your stat sheet definitely points in that direction, the old stay-at-home defenseman.
Yeah, growing up, my dad was always saying, I don't know, stay-at-home defenseman, you don't get much credit, but every team needs a good stay-at-home or a few good stay-at-home defensemen, and just to be able to play old school with taking the body, blocking shots, keeping the puck moving out of your end is definitely something that every team needs.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'd rather have a team full of D-men like you than have a risk-type defensive player that pinches in, gets caught, is trying to do too much offensively. I mean, you've got 2 D-men on the ice and 3 offensive guys on the ice at all times, so I think the 3 offensive guys can take care of that while your 2 D-men need to be playing D.
Right, absolutely. And usually I get paired with a higher risk defenseman because I'm always staying at home covering for that guy. So.
Now, how does it feel knowing that you were the first person that the Brahmas signed back onto the team this year?
Oh, it was really cool to know. Last year after the season, our coach was all over me to re-sign it, and I feel really honored that they wanted me back this year, and I put in a lot of hard work last year to make that happen. So.
Now, with that being said, what would you say to those people that are a little bit uneasy due to the fact that there are some key Brahmas that have been signing elsewhere?
Well, that's the thing with minor hockey. There's always going to be a big turnover from year to year, but they do a great job here with the Brahmas of getting new players and getting good players in here. So we have a good team put together, and I'm really excited for this year.
I mean, you got Deitch, you got Scrory, you got Hogaboom, you got Wild, and they've all signed elsewhere. Which of those guys would you say you'd be missing most on the ice?
Well, they're all played key roles in doing it, but I don't think I could really pick one. I guess I would say probably miss Wild the most because he was my roommate last year, and he's kind of like the offensive version of me, so I guess he would be the one guy that I'm going to miss a lot this year.
Do you have any words on why the front office might have let some of them get away? Was there any bad blood or anything like that going on?
I don't think there was any bad blood. I just think, like I said, there's always a lot of turnover. I mean, you never really know what the underlying circumstances are for guys leaving, but as far as I know, there's not any bad blood. It's just it's just how the way it goes sometimes.
Any idea on who they might possibly have their eye on signing?
Not really, actually.
All right. Now, what team do you think will be the toughest to play against this year?
I think Allen's always a tough team to play against, just due to the rivalry being so close, and they have a good team this year. But looking forward to getting some wins against them this year.
Definitely. And I just read the article where you were going to the training camp in Oklahoma. Congratulations on that, sir.
Thank you very much.
I hope you get some good exposure up there.
Yeah, very excited.
And the last thing I'm going to close with is I read the article as well where they moved Dan Wallafong he's going to be also the general manager. You got Mike Barrett taking over as the president. What does that mean for you as a player? What do those changes mean?
I don't really look into it too much. It's good that Dan's going to be able to take over full control of all the hockey stuff this year. But for me as a player, I'm just focused on playing and getting back into it and just doing my thing on the ice.
Definitely. Well, look forward to seeing you out there, and that does it for us today. Thank you for joining me. All right, appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I'll send